Covert Access team podcast. Today, I have the privilege of being with Dorota Kozlowska, who is currently a penetration tester and social engineer at Black Hills Information Security. She is the podcast host for the Ethical Hacking Guests and Wholesomeness podcast, and we're very lucky to have her. So, Dorota, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to where you are today?
Oh, that's a long answer here. So I'm a penetration tester, and I'm really into social engineering right now. So I'm happy that in my current work I actually can do some of it. And how did I get it here? So that's a long story. I used to be, I don't know, I don't know if I want to start with that, but let's say a shy person, I guess. And then I didn't like really have like strong. Uh, Yeah, I was pretty much led with what other people told me to do, like my mother and like I don't know, society, whatever. So although I wanted to study computer science, but I saw like a lot of like men. It was like pretty much 99% of men when I was younger at the university. So yeah, I didn't like believe in myself strong enough that I can pull that off. And it's like maybe I'm not uh, like great at math. So that's what's I don't know. I kind of like my shy side, and like the society told me that maybe I shouldn't go for it. So I went to study economics. I worked for local government for 8 years. I didn't enjoy myself at that job, and then like I worked there for 8 years. And then like at year 6, I saw like, okay, I'm not super happy with my life. Then maybe I should maybe change something about it, and started thinking, okay, who you are, what do you like, yeah, what makes you happy. And then yeah, I remember that I really wanted to study computer science, so I went to like follow that dream, and I studied computer science for 1 year on postgraduate studies, but then it really like opened something in me, and I went on and studied like more. Started looking like how to enter IT. I found software testing, got certified with that, got a new job, like changed my life pretty much when I started thinking like who you are. And then, yeah, I got a job as a software tester. I worked there like for 5 years in multiple workplaces, doing manual and automation functional testing. And then I like at the end of the every book that I was reading about software testing was a chapter about penetration testing, and I was like, okay, this is like something really cool. I would like to try that. And then like around that time when I was starting like that thought started like budding in my head a bit. There was the TV show Mr. Robot. So that was like another like reminder. Okay, Dorota, this is super cool. You really wanted to do that. Maybe you should like think about it more. So I started like researching the topic, like reading about it more. And then yeah, I was in the Netherlands, and I had this like unfortunate event. I got really sick. And like sometimes in your life you have plans, and like you will do this and this in your life, you will study this and like maybe do this course, but then your life yeah, checks with you and then like slaps you in the face and says, okay, you will not do any of that. Now you have to get better, and you're sick. So yeah, this is like focus on your health first, and not like chasing the white rabbit, the Matrix movie, I guess. And so and so I thought, okay, so I have to take the step back here, but I'm going to get better. And it's like nothing, because it was pretty serious what's happening, but I just like had like a strong mindset. I thought, okay, I'm not going to die here. I'm going to get better, and then we'll follow on with my life. So in the meantime, to just occupy my mind, maybe I should start uh, learning about penetration testing more. So I started doing CompTIA courses. So I did the A plus to learn more about computers, network plus to learn about network, obviously, and then security plus, pen test plus. Started doing try hack me's and learning like hands-on skills. And I was also watching a lot of IT Pro TV courses, which was like something, yeah, uh, that was like get me going, so I could like listen. At least I didn't understand everything that they were saying, but I was taking notes, and at least I could listen like a few times if I didn't understand something, and then research that online. So that was something that kept me going. Yeah, got me on the other side, and like got my mind occupied with like, actually, oh, you're sick, you're not you're such a poor girl, but like, okay, I'm going after something, I have a goal here, I'm strong, I will get through this, and like I changed my mindset pretty much, because I'm like very, my core character trait, so maybe that's important to the story, is I'm a learner, and also that I'm very very goal oriented, so that like those two things were the thing. So while I was still like in the treatments, I got my first job as a security analyst. And although told them I want to be a penetration tester, they didn't have technical jobs. But after a year of working there, I moved branches to like different country. I got back to country of my origin pretty much. And then on week 2, I was already pen testing web applications, and that was a pretty like cool experience, because although I moved in the same organization, uh, they grilled me pretty like severely on the interview. Like it was like internal interview, but I felt like I was like actually applying for a job from the outside. So that was like I think pretty cool that like went through that interview. And although I didn't have like much experience, I was just like wanted to start in penetration testing. So they said, okay, she will do, and she's good enough or something like that. So that was like a good moment for me. And then yeah, I worked there for like more like around 3 years more. I I changed my jobs like 2 times, and then I work for like a company that I actually was one of like on the list of my dream workplaces to be. So that was like pretty, I would say that's serendipity, because I didn't like consider myself to like apply for the job there, because that's like US based company. That was like pretty much like I was like looking at them with anime eyes, like, ah, they are so cool. And then I went to besides Krakow last year, and I was a speaker there. So that was also one of the surprises, because I was a speaker, and like I thought that uh, like maybe 3 people will show up, because yeah, I'm just like starting up with like speaking. And although I have an interesting presentation about social engineering, but I thought, okay, there's like a important like a big influencer on the Polish scene in the big room next to mine, so probably a lot of people will go there. But actually, to my surprise, the room was filled with people. Some of them were like sitting on the floor because not enough room. So that was so it was pretty much like a classroom setup, desks and chairs, so not enough like space to sit for everyone. So people were standing and sitting on the floor, so that was surprising. And also like one of the things that yeah, I discovered something about myself during that conference was I took part in the offensive security training from Anti-Siphon training company. It's like a sister company of Black Hills. And I at like 2 days before the training, I started like second guessing myself. Started thinking, okay, this is like super difficult training. I don't know if I can do it. I'm a bit scared that I will make a fool of myself. I had like also like imposter syndrome, so I thought, okay, everyone will find out that I'm not competent or like something like that. But actually, like 2 hours before, like the tickets I purchased for the train, I like before I started thinking, no, Dorota, you're doing that again. I'm going to go. Let's not self-reject. I'm going to do it. And so I went, and to my surprise, on the training, I had I knew like most of the tools. There were like discussed during the course, I was like very active. I was like raising my hand all the time. And after like few hours, like maybe 3 or 4, the instructor told me, okay, maybe you could share your CV with me. So that was like one of the things that actually uh, me going to the course, me being a speaker there, like people from my current company coming to listen to how I'm like presenting there, to listen to my topic. Actually, me interacting with their people are like super nice, and they're like organize also the uh, something like hacker trivia, hacker knowledge trivia. There was like CTF. They had a booth, so it's like yeah, they were like one of the sponsors. And after like I also like talked with. I went to the office because I found out they have like opened an office in Krakow. So I went there with a friend from Copenhagen. He introduced me to them, and I actually like gathered some courage and asked the person that was in the office, okay, maybe you have like job offers, maybe you're looking for someone because I'm looking for a job right now. And he, at the moment, he said, "No, we are not hiring. I'm sorry." And that was it. It's okay. I was like happy with that because that answer, because the most important part for me was actually gathering like my courage and asking, okay, like taking a chance on myself. And then I met a lot of people, and so there was like this idea of the CEO of the company after he came back to United States, that we have to hire a few people from Poland because they're like super impressive, they're knowledgeable. And yeah, so a few people that I interacted during the conference mentioned my name, and like I guess here I am now. So yeah.
I mean, that's honestly a really incredible journey. You've gone from, you know, somebody who knew nothing about penetration testing or social engineering to working at Black Hills, running a podcast, being a speaker. You know, like, so you've come really far. But that begs the, so okay. So one first thing I want to ask you is, what advice do you get based on your journey? What advice do you give for people who aren't quite so sure about themselves, who don't think that they have the credentials yet, who maybe are thinking like, oh, that there's no way I should apply for that company because I'll never get it?
Yeah, I do that a lot, but it's like it's not the way to go actually, because yeah, I had this mindset before when I was looking at job requirements. I say, oh, they want this and this and this. This is super difficult. I don't think I have it in me, you know. So I was just not sending my CV, and then I started going in the Netherlands on like meetups, and on one of the meetups it was like one of them was Hack the Box, and the other one for was called Wicca. It was for females in cybersecurity. So Women in Cybersecurity Association. I never know what the acronym stands for, but it was something like for women, and we are like trying to create a good environment for people that for femmes. So not only like women that were born women, but like femmes that they were like born male, but they feel. And I'm digressing, but actually, what I was trying to say here, like on one of the meetups, one of the ladies said something that I said to myself like throughout like my shy part there. So she said, "Oh, this company, like a big name, is hiring, but they want this certification. I'm not sure. I don't have any of those. They will not hire me. I don't think I will send my CV." And then, like a light bulb flashed above my head, like shit. I was doing that to myself, and it's not the way to go. It's like you should believe in yourself first, and then tell them that you can absolutely learn the things that you're lacking. And I think that's more important, like the willingness to learn. If they see that you have the drive and you have the ambition, or whatever that is pushing you forward. And I think that's more important than actually people with certifications in hand, because if you have the certification, who is to say that you didn't already forgot all of it like a week later, you know? So what I would say to answer to your question, is to not self-reject, just to put everything that you know in your CV, paint it in a way that you are willing to learn, you're like ambitious, you have the drive, you really, that's your, I don't know, biggest dream. You're really determined to pursue this path, and you will give it all. So yeah, so like the thing, what I would say is not self-reject. But my question to you is that okay if I go and grab some water? Because I can feel like my voice is getting some,
Of
like a
course,
bit
yeah, go.
husky.
Yeah, yeah, of course, go grab some water. All right, so my next question for you is, out of all the jobs that you could go for, given that you were a very shy person, why did you choose social engineering?
Yeah, that's like a reverse, right? But actually, I recently had a call, and yeah, I discovered something about myself, and maybe that's maybe a part of who I am. So I'm super like I'm saying that about myself. Maybe that's not always true because people tell me it's not true, but I feel like I am maybe. So I feel like I'm super awkward in social situations, and I feel like I'm maybe have some social anxiety. So I don't know always how to behave. And when like on the conference, someone comes up to me and says, "Oh, Dorota, I know you from LinkedIn. You're super cool." And then I freeze and I don't know what to say. And I should probably say, "Okay, we are enjoying this in conference. How are you enjoying yourself?" Oh, thank you for saying that. Like, there are like human responses to that, and not freezing. But actually, I discovered about myself that in like super stressful, like very intense situations, I have like a mind of a psychopath. I don't know, like s- I don't know, like a serial killer. Like I'm super calm. So on the calls, I'm calm, and I seem a bit frazzled because like it's like a social situation. I have to talk with someone, but it's comes to other person as a they want to help me because like I'm lost here, like I'm a bit frazzled. They want to help me, and then I'm asking them questions, and they're like actually helping me. So it's like a weird thing to so you don't really know what you have in yourself before you try that thing. So if there is like something that like makes you light up and like sparks joy in you, maybe there is something that you already know that you will succeed in. You should pursue that thing. I had a similar thing when I like discovered that Kyudo, like medieval archery, is something that I love. So I used to watch a lot of like Japanese movies and anime, and there also like when there was like an archer, I felt like, oh, this is super cool. But what was really the thing that like made me discover that like this is actually something that I love was when I went to Warsaw. There was like a presentation for the Ogasawa-ryu clan, because there was like a very important person from that clan came to like visit the school of Kyudo, and so I found out about it through my sister that is practicing medieval arts, but different than Kyudo. So she said, "Oh, Dorota, you're into Japan, you're into like archery, maybe you should come." And then I started looking at the presentation, and I started crying. So it was like, okay, that's the thing that I actually felt alive in that moment. So that's something that I should perhaps pursue. It was like the same with social engineering. Like when I discovered like what you're like presenting there, like I discovered a physical pen testing. So like, wow, this is like a different universe from, like sitting in the safe room, like in your own environment, like just hacking all the things, hacking the planet, pen testing like the web apps. But this is like super different level of like stepping outside of your comfort zone and like learning how to interact with people, how to play their strings, like play them like a violin in a way. So so yeah, that's yeah, I'm interested in that. So I want to pursue that more. But uh, yeah, that's actually a very good question because it was kind of like discovering something about myself in that. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, that I agree. I think that you should always pursue your passions, though this does make me, your answer makes me want to take a slight detour. So apparently,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
sister is into medieval art and you are into medieval archery. So, I mean, I have a guess of what medieval archery would
No, no,
be.
no. Martial arts. I'm sorry, that was Japanese, like what kendo and aikido. So it's like that's the I maybe said the wrong word, but medieval Japanese archery is like because it's like super old and it was like when in the shogun times, you know. So it was when they were shooting, like standing up in like a dojo. So the most important part of that is actually not shooting the arrow, but finding the balance in yourself. And I thought that's something that I should learn because I felt like I have like very calm exterior. Like I seem like shy and like taken aback a bit, calm, maybe quiet. But like inside of me, there's like a storm. So I don't know why I'm emotional about it. So that was something that I thought maybe I should practice because it made me calmer, like inside as well. So it's like started reading the Daily Stoic, and so uh, yeah, it was something that also helped me on like a personal level, like development as a human being. So and I still like practice it, although there is no judo like the dojo in my city I'm in, but I purchased like all the ingredients that have to shoot the arrows, and like I go to like a there are like those places in Poland when you like outside gym. And so I found one of those places nearby, and there's like this kind of like a house, but with the front part like cut off, so I can go inside and hide myself if there's like a rain, but put the and like actually shoot my arrows in like inside of that building, you know. So I think that's pretty cool because it's like what they have in Japan. So they have the same structure there, but they're like the range is like built differently. So I have to just adjust where I put the target. But like this is like almost like the most I could get in my city probably, and it's pretty close by. So pretty much like a serendipity, I would say. Also that I found uh, this house, and it's like in this area that I could actually pursue something that I love and like helps me on a personal level to, I don't know, clear my head. I don't know. That was a very long answer. Maybe I have also like digressed a bit there.
No, 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 that's perfect. I have to say, I don't come across people every day who take archery as a form of meditation and kind of inner peace, but it is very interesting. But you mentioned that you read the Daily Stoic. Do you consider yourself a Stoic person? Is that your philosophy?
Uh, I would like to be the stoic, so because I'm like super. Sometimes I'm emotional in a way, so I can sometimes go from 0 to 100 in like few minutes. So that's not super healthy, and also like for what I was sick before, so I don't want to be sick again. So I just want to master my mind, and so it's also will help me to not be manipulated by other people, to not get me into like a super emotional state and like super fast. So and so yeah, that's why I'm also learning about psychology, like I don't know, people like ways to manipulate you, like what narcissists act like, what gaslighting is, like things like that. So I'm knowledgeable about things that could happen around me, and also I could use them against other people if there's like a need, but I wouldn't use that like to my personal advantage in a malicious way. But like if I'm on an engagement, then I'm the good people here, so I just want to use all of the skills that I have for my client. So yeah, I'm trying to also like when I went into social engineering at first, I had this moral conundrum in a way that okay, I'm a good person. That's how I think about myself, and I don't want to cause anyone harm. And I have this also like philosophy to do no harm, and also like in environment, like to not produce too much waste, so not to harm animals around me, like stuff like that. So that was like a conundrum for me. So okay, I have to go on an engagement and talk to other person, and that person might lose their job. So I'm kind of hurting them in that process. But then my manager told me, okay, but you are the good guys here, and you are helping the clients, and that's what they want you to do. And so if you help them first, then the bad guys will not come and then not hurt them even more. So they can patch the vulnerabilities and then get prepared. And so you're the hero in that story here, Dorota. So it's kind of, I kind of like resonated with that. And yeah, it kind of made me feel better. But now, like, I noticed something that when I'm doing the engagement, it's kind of like at first I'm doing the reconnaissance, so I'm gathering information about the target, so I know their name, their phone number, like the colleagues, what are the names are. Sometimes I also like search the social media. I know, like, kind of like feel something. Okay, I could be friends with that person. I like that thing as well. So and then when it's like weird, really weird that I'm holding the phone, I'm Dorota, and then I'm typing the number, I'm already that person. So I don't feel like I have any, like, I don't know, I feel guilty or anything. So I don't feel anything about being Dorota. I'm already that person. I have a goal here there. I have to ask questions. I have like I don't know, things to achieve here that are written in front of me or on the screen. I have notes or like a mind map, something that will help me. And then I turn off the phone. It went well, or maybe it didn't went well. It go either way. So, and then I have like this adrenaline flash. So it's like 15, 30 minutes, or like me being like super excited about like what just happened. So cool. And then okay, I'm Dorota again. I have to eat something. I'm super hungry. So yeah, that's that. That's that.
So that's really funny. So okay, so you're getting back into social engineering then. One of the so you mentioned that it can be easy to push you into the emotional side of the spectrum. You know, you've got logic and you've got emotion, and if you go into the
Hmm.
emotional side, you're easy to manipulate, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
when you're running an engagement, when you're doing a social engineering thing, especially over the phone, you mentioned previously that you use a lot of naivete, you know, like, oh, I'm flustered, I need some help, you know,
yeah,
that
yeah.
sort of thing. Is that your tactic? What do you do? So if you're kind of walk me through an engagement that you do, if you're trying to get information out of somebody, what's your go-to tactic?
Yeah, that's usually yeah. I didn't do a lot of them yet, but usually that's comes natural to me to just like act that I'm like not knowledgeable, or I don't know something, or something broke. Maybe I spilled water. I'm super clumsy, so my laptop doesn't work now. And yeah, I also drowned my phone as well, so I don't have MFA right now. So please help me with that. I'm super scared. I don't want to lose my job. I have an important meeting tomorrow, and like I'm into in problems. I have troubles. Uh, Sorry, as like my English translator is shutting off.
No
Yeah.
problem.
So I need your help pretty much, and yeah, they it's actually it's depends on who answers the phone, because if that's a female, then they want to help me more. But sometimes men are like more like clear-headed, and they ask like more questions maybe. But
Mm.
women empathize maybe faster. So it depends who answers the phone pretty much. But yeah.
So
Uh, but uh, but that's like maybe one of the tactics, because you mentioned more of them. So yeah, I'm thinking to use like diversify a bit, but like that's my to go for now, I guess.
well, there's no reason to diversify. If you have a winning strategy that works for you, there's no
Yeah,
reason to play the field and try new things. If you've got like a 80, 90% success rate, you don't need to diversify too much.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. But actually, it's that one because it's maybe comes naturally because yeah, I'm actually acting like that when I'm on the phone, like normal situations. I don't know, calling an airline, but yeah.
No, it's a very good strategy. I mean, it's fascinating how quickly and how well it works. And you're not wrong about the sex difference of how men and women respond to these things. So you think, in your experience, that women are easier because because they want to empathize with you, or they do empathize with you faster. Is that your experience?
Uh, I guess because it's maybe the difference between sexes. Because I believe that women are led more by emotion, by their heart, and men are more like led by their mind. So it's
Hmm.
like a different. But I wouldn't say that men aren't emotional. It's just maybe different emotions are like winning there.
Sure, 100% agree with you on that. Um, so you mentioned a moment ago about the moral gray area of social engineering and how your boss had to kind of convince you that you were the hero of this story. I- Have you had any instances where, or what is your opinion on the moral gray area of social engineering?
Yeah, like so yeah, I do believe that if you feel like this is like a hmm. So, so I just how to answer the question because how I empathize about that is because I didn't have like an easy life, so I had a lot of dark moments in my life. So when I see that someone could be on the edge there, so I perhaps don't want to push that person because I've been there and uh, I know where it can lead to. So for me, that's if you see that someone is like in big distress, that's where you should be a human being and just give them a cup of water, maybe talk with them, but not use them to as your goal, not use them as a easy target because that person is visibly in a bad place. So maybe that's I would maybe not pursue that target, but like every person is different. So maybe someone else would because it's a win. But I would feel like I don't know if I could uh, look myself in the eye in the mirror if something happened to that person, and I don't know, sleep at night. So I just maybe prioritize my mental health first and my well-being, and not like uh, causing harm to other person.
No, it's a very, very good point, and a very important point, especially for social engineers, because as you said, I mean, we're all human beings. We're all going through our daily lives. We all have our concerns and questions and problems, and
Yeah,
to you, you may just be doing a job, right? I need to social engineer this person to see if they're going to give up 80 credentials or whatever it is. But to them, they could be on their last leg. This could be the worst day of their life. You have no idea. And so, yeah,
yeah.
it's very important. But okay, so let's transition to a slightly more upbeat topic on social engineering. Why is it, in your opinion, why is it that once you build rapport with somebody and you get somebody talking, why do they just keep talking? Like, what is it about something that when you establish a connection with a human being, you can often get them to just tell you everything about them? And they don't like, there's a lot of trepidation at first, but as soon as you get that rapport built, some commonality or something, then all of a sudden they just want to talk and they talk, and they just don't stop.
Yeah, I do believe that I don't know, maybe not all of us, but like I think most human beings are lonely and they don't really have anyone that they can like relate to, not like their I will say that from my own experience, I don't feel like my friends understood me like till I was like in my 30s. So I just decided to change my environment and just find new friends, I guess. And then now I'm surrounded with people that actually support me and get me. So I do understand that maybe some of the people haven't found their like I call like my friends now as like my new family, no? So maybe some people didn't have that yet. So if someone comes to you and they like the same things that you like, they seem like pretty similar to you. They answer, like respond in a way, like behave, and like their body language is in a way that you feel understood by them. So you feel like, oh, yeah, I belong. I finally belong somewhere. It's like, this is like amazing, you know. I was waiting for this moment my whole life. So then, of course, you feel liked and you want to be liked by them. So you feel like maybe they are so cool or something like that. You feel impressed and you want to be friend with them. You want to continue. So then you share details about yourself. So you maybe want to show off a bit or talk about your something that you are doing at work or your like your special interest that you feel like, oh, this is like super cool, this is my treasure, like I worked so hard to get here, and then you want to share with them. So it's like offering like a special gift to them in a response to them coming to you and like bringing them friendship forward and like finally understanding you, and like you feel like, ah, so I understand this is that's why.
Fair enough. Okay, very interesting. So, all right. So is your day to day more social engineering, or is it more hacking, like more web apps and that sort of thing?
It's more like reconnaissance, maybe like looking for secrets or like I don't know, credentials. So more like yeah, reconnaissance or like pen testing. Sometimes web apps, but yeah, I said like recently that I did like 7 years of web apps. I'm a bit tired of clicking on them for a moment. So I'm sure there are like other things that I could learn. So now, like my manager really like direct me in the way that like, actually makes me happy and excited to go on to work on Monday. So yeah. So but it's like social engineering is like something that I'm just starting at. So I wouldn't say that's like the majority of things, and it also I have an accent, so it has to be engagement that my accent would play a role in. So yeah, but I want to do more of those. So I hopefully. But now I'm just like happy that there is like some of it, and but also like a lot of the things that I like doing and I'm excited in.
Oh, that's perfect. So can totally understand doing the same web app over and over and over definitely gets old pretty fast.
Yeah,
Uh, so totally understand that. So you're at present you're definitely more leaning into the social engineering rather than the web app hacking. Makes
yeah, yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah.
But okay, so all right, so when you're running an engagement, when you're trying to, do OSINT and do your recon and find out about a target and all this kind of stuff, and say that you even successfully social engineer somebody, 80 credentials or passwords or whatever it is, how do you fix it? What's the remediation? What do you recommend to the client? Somebody who, they gave up the goods, they said things they shouldn't. What do you recommend to them?
Mm. Yeah, that's a good question actually. That also depends on what I found there. But so like the most frustrating thing is like whatever I say, sometimes they just don't fix it. So that's the frustrating part. But just to patch it up and to yeah, I don't have like a technical answer for you out of the top of my head right now. But actually, there there is some advice to every vulnerability that I could give. So I am trying to, and that's also like something I'm learning that I'm thinking in a super technical way. So I have to write it in a way that the business will understand. So that's also another layer of something I'm learning. But yeah, I don't know if I answered your questions, but
No, no, it's
I don't have like a super technical answer for that.
well, that's the thing though, is that there isn't really one. I mean, you're talking, if I
Yeah.
asked you, so let me change the topic for just a second. Let's go to the stepchild of the preference here, and let's say if you find a web app and that web app is vulnerable to, say, a cross-site scripting attack,
Hmm.
what would your recommendation be?
Or maybe to uh, check the input, what they are like
Yeah,
allowing to be put in the application.
Right. User input sanitization, right?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah, yeah.
super simple one, right? Technical problems tend to have very straightforward technical solutions. But when it comes to social engineering, you're trying to fix people and human behavior, and that's really hard. That's a much much harder thing than just saying like, oh, we'll just sanitize the input and you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, like from the social engineering point, it's like it reminds me that like the dating scene. I will fix him. It's actually not how it works. So you cannot fix a human being because if that person doesn't want to be fixed. So what you can also only do is to make the people in your team aware of the threats and maybe like create an incentive for them to be like more uh, willing to like take a look, like taking the action instead of like, oh, I've just I would just focus on my business here. I don't care. So yeah, there's like some ways that you can uh make it like this state like better, but I don't think you can like fix the situation because I feel hmm, we say that the human is the like the weakest link, but actually like the other like what other thing is that the human is the weakest link to the point that he has knowledge about, right? So if he has no knowledge about things, then he's like oblivious to what could happen. So it's like an easy target. But if you give him knowledge, give him like training, if the company cares about, I don't know, like the cybersecurity training, like making the people aware, then I think that's what they could do. Like this is like I think good enough. I don't think what is your idea? What more they could do like than train the people and make them aware?
Well, training and awareness is a fantastic one. I always advocate for kind of what you're doing. It always perplexed me why companies today understand that we need to do a pen test, like a cyber pen test on this interval, right? Because we need to simulate the bad guys to come in and check our website. Okay, that makes sense. Simulate the bad guys. And then periodically we'll run phishing campaigns on our own people internally so that our people are aware of like, okay, well,
Hmm.
these emails are stupid and you shouldn't be doing it, right? Don't click on stupid stuff, right? And so it's this constant bit of awareness. But when it comes to social engineering, when it comes to people calling you on the phone or trying to walk into the building or whatever, there isn't. They're just people. Like, companies just don't put any effort into it by and large. And suddenly, when people do get social engineered, when they do get tricked, it comes as like this big shock to them. And it's like, well, why would it come as a shock? Your people were not trained; they were completely helpless.
Yeah,
So, I
people
mean,
get angry.
of course. I mean, one of the, from a physical pen testing standpoint, one of the biggest pushbacks that I often get from companies is they say, well, you've been doing this a long time. And if we hire you to prove that you could break into our building, we know that you could do it, even getting into our VIP boardrooms or server rooms or anything else. So why should we hire you? And it's like, yeah, yeah, okay. But what you're really saying there is that any person with semi confidence and professionalism can physically get to your most secret areas at will. And so your whole security setup is you hope they don't. And that comes right back to social engineering. If you're not
Yeah,
training your people to have any defense against social engineering tactics, why are you ever surprised when social engineering works?
yeah, because people just don't think that's their problem. So yeah, it's like something like my mother said to me that sh- people don't I don't know, like they go on vacation, for example, and then don't buy. I don't know how to explain this the way she did, but people don't really think about things that could happen to them because they think, oh, it will not happen to me. It will happen to that person, you know? So it's a weird way our brain works that we feel like, okay, we are like uh, immortal or something. And then we have like a car crash and we are like, suddenly we realize, okay, we are super fragile. And actually, maybe I should have purchased that insurance or something. So the wisdom comes sometimes after the fact. So yeah, I think that's maybe one of the things that because cybersecurity is so discussed in the media, that the hackers are bad. There's like this ransomware attack, that and that, and then had to pay that much money, and they're like this attack group, and like whatever the new names, new malware, new attacks, and people are scared of that. But actually, people are like still like a bit oblivious and think, okay, this will not happen to me, will happen to the other person, and it's like maybe they pay some attention, like do the MFA, or create like a long password for their email address, email account, but they don't actually consider like that to happen. Like maybe they will get, is that like catfish, right? If on the dating
Yep.
portals.
Yep.
So you come there with like your trust, you think about everyone else from your own perspective, that everyone else is as good as you, but actually they're like predators out there that are looking out to like steal your money and get your credit card accounts, or like trick you into something. And if sometimes you can maybe wake up in a marriage, and you're, I don't know, I just watched the movie though, so that's an example, and your husband is a serial killer, or he has like a secret life that you never knew about, and he just kept it separate. So this like he's like different life with you and your family, and then he has a different life when he goes to that another conference or like a business trip. So you never know, you know.
No, you don't. I mean, it's funny because you mentioned that you have to kind of go through hardships before you break that, illusion of invincibility. And you see this with young boys all the time when they're doing constantly stupid stuff. And all the
Yeah.
older people are like, don't do that, don't do that. And then eventually one of them breaks their leg or breaks their wrist or something. It's like, oh, right, you're mortal and you can actually get hurt. Okay, yeah, now life lesson, right? But yeah, I mean, the funny thing happened with industry, about 20, 30 years ago when I guess 15, 20 years ago when ransomware started to become a thing. And all these companies were like, yeah, okay, well, when you ask them, what's your ransomware policy? And they're like, well, we don't have one. Why? Well, because it's not going to happen to us. It's like, but
Yeah.
now every company, it's almost like violating your fiduciary duty if you're on the board to not have a ransomware policy. But yeah, it takes a
It's
lot
like
of time.
so that actually explains why the companies don't invest in the like cybersecurity protection, like the things, but they do after the ransomware happens, because they feel, oh shit, I had to pay 3 million, so now I have to, now I will find the money.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's almost always after the fact. Very few people actually proactively, take steps to actually make things more secure. I was on an engagement about a year and a half ago where I had a CISO who had us come in and do a physical audit. We found a whole bunch of vulnerabilities, some of them really stupid, and we patched them up. And he called me like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months later and said that somebody had actually tried to break in through one of the routes that we had discovered. And they said, had you not have come in and fixed this thing, they would have walked right into our archive room and be able to walk out with anything they wanted. And it's a really good, validation of like, okay, this proactive, kind of response is very, very useful. So one thing that I wanted to ask you when it comes to social engineering, being from Poland, so every country has its own idiosyncrasies and cultures and things that would work best on them. So what social engineering tactics do you think would work best on Polish people?
Oh, that's a good one. Hmm. Yeah, like maybe I will talk about myself first, and then maybe I will come up
Sure.
with the answer for the population there. Uh, so for me, because we went through a lot of occupation, like Poland didn't belong to Poland. Like our land wasn't ours for a long of years, so it was split between three countries, two countries, and so we are like very suspicious of everything that could be like dangerous. So, and I do see that in myself, that I'm super suspicious what that person is trying to achieve here. Is that person trying, that person is too nice to me, that's not a real thing, that's not they want something, there is like something coming next. why are they smiling so widely? Like, what's happening here? And like also like cultural thing. If you walk on, also like maybe Eastern Europe, a lot of Eastern European countries has that. That on the streets we have face expression, and that's like that's we are happy inside, but on the outside we look like someone died. So actually, that's like another level. So maybe you think like if I would meet from maybe someone from I don't know, UK or United States, and they have super like a different culture. They are like smiling. They're like more on the outside, and like Polish people are like more inside, like inverted, I would say. So it's not that we are not nice people. If you like just go through like that tiny shell we wear on the outside, we are like super hospitable. We will welcome you into our houses, and because we also have the saying, "Guest in the house, God in the house." So like we have this, I don't know, like duty. You cannot come out of our house hungry, so you have to roll out of the house. There's like so much food on the table, then you have to be taken care of, and that's how we are. So if we would meet like an American person, then maybe we will not understand each other like at first, because we are like taken aback. We are like look like we are like just, I don't know, someone died in their family, but and American people would be like yay, hey, like smiling and like extroverted a bit maybe. But like after a while, we will find like the common ground, and we will light up and smile. And it's like we like smiling, so it's just we don't do it like, I don't know. I guess Polish people like to rest our faces in like normal situations on the street. And it's also like I saw like this meme. It's also taken from like a picture to like instructions on how to take a passport picture, but actually it's like very true on the streets as well, like forbidden face expressions. And there was like one picture with a person smiling very widely. You cannot have that picture in the passport, but also it's true on the streets. So it was a good meme. So it's forbidden to smile widely, but it's like encouraged to have like a neutral face expression. But I think like with Poland be like growing economically, and more people from abroad coming, like moving actually to Poland and opening their companies, like opening businesses, maybe fall in love with Polish women because they're like super beautiful and like actually good wives. I just don't want to advertise too much, but that's the truth. So I'm telling that out loud. So like a lot of it's became like Poland because it's starting to become like very international, and we speak English in like almost every city, and so it's changing. So I'm not saying that we are like that all the time. So it's changing, and we are like also like smiling on the streets, and we are like a lot of people went abroad and came back as well. So they like came back with a different perspective. So it's like changing, and but like how to social engineer someone, I don't know. I feel like a lot of Polish people love football. We like. I don't think a Polish team is super successful on the world arena. I don't think. Sometimes we just don't go through the first stage of the matches and we fall. But we always believe that we will be the champions. So maybe a lot of Polish people love football. So maybe we could like find like a common ground there, and start talking about football, or like come with like maybe research what team is popular in that region, and have some emblems on your t-shirts, or like I don't say like you have to wear uh how you the scarf
Oh,
with
okay. Yeah.
like
Right.
the team colors on your
Mhm.
neck, because that's maybe extreme. Even the extreme fans don't wear it like every day, but uh just like maybe start talking about it, like mention, oh, this match was cool, like start like poking up around there. But what else? We are like very loyal people, and I don't think it's like easy to social engineer us, because we are also suspicious, as I mentioned before. But I'm sure there are like ways. Nothing comes to mind right now. But yeah. What is your like idea like interacting with Polish people?
Well, for me, I find that what you said is very true. So when there's this, so I'm speaking from an American perspective here. As an
Hmm.
American, in America we have this very odd misconception about Europeans, where we think that Western Europeans are very friendly and Eastern Europeans are very mean, right? And the closer you get to Russia, the meaner people get. That's kind of the American impression of Europe, and in a lot of ways, it's not true at all. I have found that honestly, some of the nicest people are in Eastern Europe. I was in Zagreb a couple years back, and I was doing an engagement, and there was this tiny, tiny little gym next to the place that I was staying, and I was going to be there for about a month. And I went in there, and I tried to ask the guy, "Hey, how do I get a membership to your gym?" Because it's a tiny little place, right? And he literally just looks me up and down, and he says, "American?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "This much money." And he just hands me a key to the gym, like a key to the building. And it's like, I can't imagine anyone taking a total stranger, looking them up and down and just being like, "Yeah, I trust you. Here's a key to my entire place." And so like a lot of people in Eastern Europe, they do really tend to be super, super nice. So going to the question, I mean, it's playing naive tends to work because, like you said, if you come off as overly friendly, overly cheerful, that's usually seen as suspicious, right? If
Yeah.
"Hey, how's it going?" Big smiles, big wave, like that's you come off like a
Wait a
sneezy
minute.
salesman. Yeah, exactly, exactly. But playing naive, looking for favors, purposefully making presumptive statements where you purposefully make a mistake that they will, but a mistake in like this is a tourist, this is somebody who's naive, they would expect to make that mistake. People in Eastern Europe, in my uh, experience, they want to help people. But like you said, so you said the line, which made me giggle because I think that you should put this like somewhere. It says, you said the line, talking about Polish people, "We are happy inside, but outside we look like someone died." In my opinion, it's more like you just have a really tough shell, and that once you get inside, once you build that rapport with somebody from Eastern Europe, they're like your best friend forever. Like they
Yeah,
will
yeah,
they
yeah.
will lay down in traffic for you, but you have to get through that hard shell of that to get to that part. But by and large, I found Eastern European people to be super friendly when the situation is right, and as long as you don't come on too strong. So I think that if my go to would probably just be presumptive statements and naivete.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's also like if you come too strong and like be too enthusiastic from the beginning, uh, maybe that's not. We will say, okay, that I cannot be friends with this person. Just like that person burns me out. I don't have that energy. So, for me, for example, like Italians are maybe a bit too energetic. I feel like okay, they're like too loud, too energetic. I don't know. I don't have anything against Italians. It's just like I don't feel like well in that environment that is like super noisy and very like a lot of things is happening at once. So, but it's just like me as a person. I would say that like everyone in Eastern Europe is like that. But like what you actually said, when you like go through the shell, that we are like super friendly. That's super true. And also like I used to think that Western Europe, they're like very nice, like to look up to. But actually, a lot of people in Western Europe is like super bitchy and not kind, So it maybe like depends on like the person. I wouldn't say that's like a nation, but I'm sure if I say that out loud and like point to Western Europe, you already know a few countries that yeah that you could like yeah describe
I I
with
think
them.
what we could say is there's a lot of misconceptions about Europe, especially for
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah,
outside of Europe. And the best way that you can figure it out for yourself is just go explore, visit, play tourist,
yeah,
see for yourself.
yeah. But also like it comes from I don't know. I think human beings create patterns of understanding, and some of them are maybe hurtful. Like there was like this pattern of understanding about Poland and like maybe the 80s that we are all drunks and thieves. So that's like very hurtful. It's not true. So, but if you like say those things, like I think it's like still comes in some like I don't know parts of the world that people think, okay, this country is like this and this country is like this, so maybe it's like I shouldn't go there or something. But actually, the world is changing very much, and if you, I'm trying to say that those patterns that we create are sometimes not true, and we should give a chance because every person is different, and it's like very hurtful to like, okay, you're from this country, you're like that, so you should give a chance to a person first, and not put like a label of, okay, of like the pattern of understanding that is like from, I don't know, the 60s or whatever. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say here. So
No, I think you're 100% correct. I was on a engagement recently in Gdansk. It's a beautiful place. It's absolutely lovely. The people are lovely. You don't have like street urchins, Oscar Wilde type running around stealing stuff. It's a very pretty place. There's a specific street that has near an old church that has it's nothing but jewelry that's sitting out in little shops and stuff.
mhm.
Poland is surprisingly safe. It is a very, very safe, almost traditionally like 1950s style safe country. So honestly, it's having run around all over the world and all over Europe and operated in most countries. It's one of the safer countries that you have to deal with. So I actually had the very extreme juxtaposition recently of going from Malmo, Sweden, to Warsaw, and it's just absolutely night and day on what types of threats you're dealing with and security precautions you're having to deal with and everything else. So, no, I will definitely say that Poland is very safe, and no, it's not full of thieves.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely not. And so what I like I was trying to say that I because I was born in Poland and lived here most of my life, but then I was thinking, oh, okay, I don't belong. Have this thing inside me that I didn't feel like I belong here. I should be maybe somewhere else doing something else. But I think it was more about like me pursuing computer science and not working in the office at that time. But I went abroad, and I before I thought, okay, grass is greener there, and but then I saw, okay, they have different problems. So and the properties are like super expensive here. They have this problem and that problem, and maybe it's not so safe. I was maybe a bit worried going out in the night, and so I started looking at the grass that was super green out there, like from a different perspective. That, oh, actually, maybe Poland is great. So yeah, I came like after I came back, I started like rediscovering my country again, and I feel like I always like felt this loyalty, but now I appreciate it more, and like I see, I knew there's a beautiful country, but now I see like I appreciate it more, and like maybe I have this pride that okay, my country is growing fast, and it's uh, like has doubled in size and economical growth since like we entered European Union, and we invest in the infrastructure. So before I left the country, I felt like, oh, the roads are like a bit like challenging. I don't know, and there are like a lot of holes and like stuff. But we invest, and like when I came back, it's like totally different country now. It's like on world level, and the fast train lanes, like infrastructure is like point on. I felt like maybe some roads in Germany were worse than in Poland right now. So I was like come at as a surprise in a way, but also like I felt this pride, and I see also a lot of people from abroad recording content on Instagram and sharing their experiences with Poland. And what comes like what like is like the better, like what I'm trying to say here, what is like comes as a surprise to me that it's not Polish people are like saying, "Oh, come here, it's like amazing," because obviously Polish people would say that because we were born here. It's like the loyalty is saying that, but people from abroad come here and they say, "Okay, I feel safer here than in United States," for example. Or there's like this lady recording reels when she's like going through like grocery store and reading the names of the products, like a super cute accent, and she's like super happy to discover another flavor of yogurt or something. So for me it's like super sweet that like people from abroad actually come here and they appreciate our country, they appreciate the culture, and they feel, okay, I want to stay here, I feel safe here. There's like, look, people are like walking just like that in the middle of the night. No one is hiding the chairs from the restaurants. No one is taking anything. We don't sometimes close the bike with like the chain because we don't just have this trust, and no one is taking the bike. So yeah, I did. It's like a new. I don't know. It's like the new Poland right now. I was like, it was totally different in the 80s, but we had like different like experiences. We were like super traumatized after the war as well. So yeah, people are growing, and like the new generation actually also like brings a lot to the table. They're like open startups and pop-up restaurants, and like they go abroad, they bring their knowledge here, and they bring the capital, and they, yeah, there's like a I do believe that Poland is like the melting pot in a way. It was like growing. There's like a lot of nationalities coming here, and we can coexist. And we like, even before the war, we had like a very diverse environment. Like there were like a lot of people living here, like of like maybe gypsy origin or like Jewish origin, and like all kinds of people, you know. So, and we all kinds of religions, and we are all like treating each other like a family, like friends, like neighbors, and we were like hospitable to everyone that wanted to live here, and yeah. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So we were that before the war, and after the war, we were trying to get up from the knees. But I think now it's like we're like a growing economy and growing culturally. So yeah, I, I talk a lot, but actually, it's like something that is my discovery in a way that I didn't know when I was like younger. So yeah, that's like, yeah.
No, I think that, I mean, one, it's very cute when, you know, what you're talking about Poland, because seeing somebody who actually has a lot of pride in their country is great. I think it's a great thing. And what you said at the beginning of that was, you know, you had to go abroad before you fully kind of understood how great your country is. And I think that's very common. I think a lot of people who have not,
Yeah.
maybe they've traveled, they've played tourist, but they haven't lived. Right? There's a big difference between going for a week long holiday and then actually trying to live and work in another country. These are very, very different things. And, you know, for me, for, you know, I, like I said, just recently, I was doing a job in Malmo, Sweden, and then I went to Warsaw, Poland. Um, and it was interesting to me because in Sweden, we were dealing with actual people being assassinated, mass shootings, bombing attacks on almost a daily basis. And these are things that people don't really understand, because if they're outside of this sphere, outside of this news, it's just, you know, they don't know about it. But then you go to Poland, and, you know, the thing that struck me the most was, well, the juxtaposition. I went straight from Malmo to Gdansk, and before I went to Warsaw, and I still think about this shop, this street. There's a big church, you know, outside of in Gdansk, and there's this one street which is kind of like uh, it's just like a jewelry shop. And so like the entire street is just this really, really old, like 14th century buildings and everything else. And I think it was what was it, like, I think it's like amber or tiger's eye or
Yeah,
something. It's, yeah,
Amber, Amber.
it's amber, and it's just all of these necklaces and rings and things. They're just sitting out, you know, for people to walk past and take a look at. And it's like you could never do that in LA. You could never do that in Chicago. You could never do that in a lot of these big cities, because they'd be stolen within 5 minutes. And so the kind of the high trust aspect of society is just it's something that surprises a lot of people who haven't been there before. And I think it's something to be proud of.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's yeah, like one of my favorite streets in Gdańsk.
Oh,
Also,
so
I
okay, so
like
you know
Anna a
which one I'm
lot.
talking about then.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Okay, I don't remember the street's name, but it's very iconic. It's very pretty. Um, okay, so kind of
It's the name of the street comes from the cathedral that is close by, but I'm just trying to put a finger on it.
I I I
Yeah, it doesn't matter actually, but it's like the name of the cathedral.
Okay, so kind of circling or kind of going back to social engineering for a moment. When you're trying to develop a believable cover story or pretext, what are your methods for doing so? Like, what do you look for in a cover story? Is it target specific, or you have like a generic person that you like to become?
I do believe that in a good cover story there has to be like some truth in the lie. So that's what I would. Hmm. That's a good question actually, but I don't have like a specific answer for that. But what I would say it's like there has to be some truth in the lie, so you don't like trapped over your own feet, like going in that scenario, but also to be relative, like to adjust it to like the situation you're in. So if you're going, for example, I don't know, an office, you cannot have a pretext of, I don't know, being uh, a skateboarder. I don't know. Maybe I don't know that one. Because
No, no, no.
the
That
people
yeah.
you will stand out straight away that you don't belong in that environment. So or yeah, like yeah,
Or
I'm
have you?
like I don't know, got someone wearing like got clothes, like a I don't know, like a dress from
Right.
Victorian ages. So you have to adjust it to the situation and like make it a bit uh, true. That's I don't
Hmm.
know. I'm repeating myself, I guess, but
No, no, no.
try.
It makes perfect sense. And I mean, I don't have a generic. I have a lot of aliases that I'll fall back on, but mostly just that's out of kind of convenience. I don't want to create, social media profiles or new ID cards or something every single time. So a lot of times, if I can fall back to a specific alias, I will. But the cover story specifically, I adjust to, like you said, I mean, you just kind of have to adjust. If you've got a cover story of a skateboarder, then you can't pretend to be a Fortune 500 investor, with a cover story of a skateboarder. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I'm curious, do you have any really off the wall or kind of silly cover stories that you've used that have worked?
Mm, for now, it's just like yeah, I'm just playing like naivety and like I'm being in trouble. I'm clumsy, like those kinds of situations. But I wouldn't say that I have like one. It just like depends on. I'm trying to read the person, like how that he or she is responding to what I've already said, and adjust on the fly. But yeah, I wouldn't say that I have like one go to.
Oh, no worries. Neither do I. I mean, I think social engineers need to be able to have multiple aliases depending on what the situation
Hmm.
dictates. But that actually gets me into my next question or next little topic for you. What is your opinion on deep fakes and AI generated videos, voice, facial masking, and all of that kind of stuff? How do you think that plays and will play a role in social engineering and fraud?
Oh, I think that would be more common because we are already people don't really recognize that, and I don't know, even if you scroll like some social media platform, for example, Facebook, and you just go through comments under like obviously a fake post, like I don't know, fake AI generated thing, you will be surprised that people just comment like, "Oh, this is like I don't know, something is happening in the video, or like maybe an animal is being harmed," and people will be commenting, oh, poor dog, someone called the police or like something. So they believe that this is the reality, and like it's I don't know. Maybe we need more training or something like more. This topic should be more on the news so people are aware and like being taught how to like look for what to look at to like yeah see that this is not a reality. But I think it will be more common and will be like a attack vector of the future because and more like countries are trying to like enter uh, workspaces of like other countries that are like trying to maybe gain some insider knowledge or maybe steal some information about like I don't know some important things like maybe sale or something like that. So there's like a economical like when money is on the line, I think people get very motivated and they use all they can get their hands on to like get more money. So if they can get information that will make them richer, they will use I think deepfake and yeah. It's even like we have those situations where people get hired in like companies because they went through a interview and they fake their voice, they fake their uh, face, how they look like, and they seemed legit to the interviewer. The interviewer talking to them for like 30 minutes, an hour, and they didn't see anything suspicious. So I think that's super scary. That's like so realistic that you don't like, you talk with the person, you look at them all the time, you interact with them, and you don't see anything that, okay, that this is like something is off here, so that's I think that's super scary and yeah, something we should be like wary of.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is that poor guy from Hong Kong who I think it was $5 million dollars that he transferred out because if I remember the story correctly, he thought that the CTO of the company called him and told him there's an emergency thing. We have to immediately transfer this money, and he did, and he dutifully did what I think it was the CTO told him to do, and or maybe the CFO, and I can't imagine the phone call that guy got the following day, but yeah,
Yeah,
that would have been a rough morning.
no need to drink coffee.
No, no, no. Yeah, your heart rate's going to be going a mile a minute anyway. So, all right. So, when it comes to okay, so you've had this very long, kind of winding journey. Starting off as a very shy person, and now you're a social engineer for a major, world-renowned company. What advice do you give to people who want to kind of emulate what you've done? Whether it's pen testing or even social engineering, like they say, like, "Hey, I want to get into social engineering, but I'm just getting out of college or wherever. What do I do?"
I mean, I did a little to have I really put a lot of effort into working on myself first, like building my character and like I knew where my flaws were. So that's I think the most important part is where you start is to ask yourself like who you are as a person, what's important to you. I already mentioned that before. So first you have to find out who you are, like because I don't like some of the people are just go through life like one thing after another, one day after another, one task after another, and they don't just I don't know, then they just think about what their needs are, so I think that's where you should start, like what makes you happy, what sparks joy for you, what is like your special talent, what you're good at, like what you think you're like succeed at, like maybe what I was also like given an advice from like a person. I did like two post graduation studies, so I uh, and one of them was European Union like fundings and like something related to the eurozone. So it was very financial, but also a lot of about uh, management. And on one of the courses, the teacher like asked a question, what would you do if you could go back in time 10 years? And I said, oh, invest in Bitcoin, like from top of my head, because I knew it was like super cheap then. And she said, okay, talk with me like at the end of the class. And she also like gave me the advice to uh, go to Gallup Institute, I think it was, and do the course, like the test that will check what your like character traits are, like your best features are, and how can you apply that to look for a job and find like the career that will be most aligned with who you are as a person. So I actually did the course, that the test, and it was not like super surprising to me because I already like knew some of it about myself. So it from the test it came out like my top character trait was a learner. So I already saw that in myself, that I really love learning languages, and I do it like just to train my brain because it makes me happy and like makes me okay, I know this, and yeah, it helped me like be like motivated in my life, like be happy, so I like learning. That's just like my important part like of who I am. But also like I'm a achiever, I'm a collector, like a lot of things. And also it made sense. So sometimes a collector is like I just collect, like I have a lot of browser like history, that I collect links, like something that may come in handy later. So I would advise maybe do that test because it will help you to understand who you are and like what you're good at. And maybe if you start reading job like requirements, you will feel okay. I feel like I'm very good to go for that job because it's like aligned with like who I am as a person, my talents. But to answer your questions, and maybe I digressed too much a bit. So to answer your question, I would say find out who you are first, but then start like building your character. Your maybe you know your flaws already, you know your talents, so start like learning how to be better at the things that you actually feel like you're not very good at. So what I've did, give an example. I was terrified of public speaking, so maybe like the maybe not very like obvious thing to do, but for like other people. But I started a podcast and I pushed myself to become a public speaker. So like totally like maybe reverse. So if I feel like I'm scared of this, maybe I shouldn't do it. But actually, I believe that if you have boundaries, like if you have like fear in your life, I also had like I was terrified of space, like and height. So when I was like tall building, I was like I couldn't go to like a window to gaze through the window because I had like this paranoid feeling that that will the floor will break and I will fall. And I had a lot of dreams when I was younger of falling as well. So I thought, okay, I don't really want like any fear to be a boundary in my life, and to because I felt like I cannot achieve greatness in my life. I cannot succeed really because I'm this person that is chained, and the chains are wrapped around me because that's my fear, and that is like not making like stopping me from achieving what I want in life. So to I first I thought, okay, I'm terrified of heights, so I will jump with a parachute, and I did.
That's a big achievement. Jump
And
skydiving.
that
That's a
skydiving, yeah. And I don't know if I can say that word, but I was scared shitless. I was so terrified. I was screaming, and then after a while, he like I was in a tandem, so there was another person. I didn't go through that alone. So then he like popped the parachute, and he said to me, "Okay, you can," because I was like hanging there like a sack of potatoes, pretty much. I was so scared, like my muscles didn't work properly. So he said, "Okay, so you can put your feet on my feet, and then you will have like." Some like ground under your feet, and maybe that will help you. And that actually did, and started looking around. I was like, oh my god, that's so beautiful, like why the first response to me was like this fear, like I was yelling my lungs out. So, and then okay, this is not that bad, actually, I'm safe here. He's like strapped to that guy. He knows what he's doing. There's like the parachute. I'm sure I'm fine. So, and yeah, I also like it's good to have some motivation. So, my ex-partner told me that, okay, if you land then we will go and eat pizza. And I was thinking like the whole time, oh, I will survive because I really like pizza and I really want that pizza. So I was thinking when I felt like the fear is coming back, I was thinking pizza, pizza, pizza. So that's funny. Okay, but like to go back to the public speaking, I just pushed myself into uncomfortable situations because that's what I know where the growth is. So you cannot overcome your fears without facing them head on. So if you know that you have something like that in your life, that you're like scared of something, that there is like something that uh, standing in your way, then maybe I'm not saying that you should jump out of a plane like I did, but just maybe like baby steps, just like start maybe reading, I don't know, self-development books or doing, I don't know, some sport activity that could help you with that problem. But I would say that that would be something that is very character building. So, but to answer the question about actually going to pen testing, it's like a long digression. So what I did was I started going through job advertisements and reading about what the requirements are, and then I had to go through like the imposter syndrome. Oh, I will not send a CV, but then I believed, okay, I will send a CV because I will not self-reject, and I will give the chance to the recruitment agent to read my CV first and like score the CV. Okay, the CV is pretty good. I think I will give her a chance. So if you not say you will not if you self reject yourself and will not send the CV, then how much chances do you have at that job? Zero, right? But if you send the CV, you at least have 50 chances of getting the job. So that's already like a lot of chances more, right? So, and look, if you will send a CV, maybe they will hire you. And yeah, and also what my advice would be like with the recruitment process, that you should probably send a CV to a lot of companies because most of them will be your training ground. And most of them will ask you like curveball questions that you will probably not know the answer to. So take notes and then research the topic afterwards. And then so the training ground is for so you learn how to interview with other people, learn how to talk with them, learn how to behave properly at a interview. So probably you cannot put your desk legs on the desk and like strap yourself on the chair like a super relaxed way and like drink a beer, because that's probably they will not hire you. So you have to go through a few interviews to be good at it. So that's why send that CV to a few companies, even if you don't believe like 100% that they will give you a chance, but to give you like a chance and train yourself for like the job that you actually want, like the dream job. So then you will know all the answers to all the questions, you know what to expect. You will feel comfortable in the situation, so you will not be stressed. Because my first interviews were, I was so stressed, I didn't know what my name is pretty much. So I didn't know how to answer any of the questions because it was so uncomfortable to me, so like alien the situation of an interview, that I was just like bombing one after another. But then I got good at it, and I started feeling comfortable and starting to feel okay. I know the situation. They will ask me those questions first. They will probably ask me questions about my private life or like about my cat, about my hobbies, or what I did the last weekend to make me feel comfortable, and then will ask me more technical questions. No one is there to, I don't know, they are kindly like judging me in a way because they are assessing if I'm person they want to pay and like go to trouble of hiring. But there, no one is like trying to kill me there. Like no one is like looking, you know. Uh, so I'm safe, and like it's like you just have to answer the questions and that's it. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say about interview process. Was another long one. And what to get actually into pen testing, just read the job descriptions and start learning the things that is in the requirements. Maybe they want some specific certification, when maybe they want a course or a skill. So what you can do is like create a path for yourself, create goals, and not go like not go for OECP on your day one, but create like baby steps, maybe smaller certification, smaller achievement that you can go after, and then yeah, you will feel ready, and then you can go after the bigger one. And what else is helpful? Like I think networking is important, because what I've noticed, a lot of people are saying to have the technical knowledge, and of course you have to have the technical knowledge. You have to know networking and pen testing and all the attacks, and how to, because they will ask you about OWASP top 10, so you have to know how to talk, like how you understand the vulnerabilities, how would you attack them, and so of course you have to know the technical part of it for the interview. But also there's another layer that you have to know. Uh, yeah, I actually forgot what I was trying to say. the
No, it's okay.
address
It's
was
okay.
so long. But because there's like also like business level on the pen testing, you have to know how to write a report, how to talk about technical things in like a business like way. So on the interview, there's not only about the technical knowledge, but also how you behave. If you're like, if you will fit into the team, like if you will learn, if you want to learn, or maybe you're are already like so cocky that they will not be able to work with you because you will be like a diva, and there's like no way they can like fit you into the team dynamics. So like a lot of layers of things. So consider all those things. And yeah, so you can practice in front of the mirror as well before the interview. But what actually wanted to say is like what I've learned, like not only technical parts are important, but networking is super important. So connecting with people on like Discord channels, or like LinkedIn, is it like maybe Twitch, or I don't know, Twitter, like whatever that there's like the channel, or like obscure, like you have like obscure interest that's like very rare. So maybe you want to go there and like interact with the people that are also interested in that very rare thing. So, and then, because what I've noticed actually is not what the interviews got me the job, is like networking got me the job and got me the interviews as well. So people that know me got like helped me get through a company, or like recommended me, or told me about a job that is just opened. I didn't have like an idea that that even existed. So you have to like go out of your basement, go out of the shadows, and show other people who you are as a person. Maybe you're like specialized in like some niche thing. So show them your like superpower and who you are as a person, and they might hire you on the spot. So you never know. They might even hire you without an interview, because they will feel like, okay, we love. I don't know. I was. It's kind of like I don't want to come as a under like a. I'm in love with myself, but it's like okay, Dorota, we know you from LinkedIn. We love you. We respect what you like. All about their like the message you're trying to share with the world. So we feel like maybe you'll be like a good fit into our team. So I actually had that told to me on the interview, and given to me as a reason to hire me as a like yeah, like an important person in the team. So yeah, I will not
So
go,
it's
like it was like actually two jobs that I heard that from, but that was like surprising, because I just wanted to share with the world, to show them like, okay, I changed my job. I was a clerk. I didn't thought that I would, yeah, I didn't see that a way out of that job. Actually, I felt like this is like a dead end, but I actually uh, changed my life so much that now people are coming to me and saying, "Okay, I'm great," and all those things, you know. So that's I'm just saying that this is possible, and that was only reason that why I'm on LinkedIn, to give people like push people into believing in themselves enough so they would take a chance and change their lives for the better, and like take a chance on themselves. But actually it's coming off like as something totally different now. Like I'm some kind of a influencer that has an impact in the industry, or I don't know, it's helping people like get their first job or something like that. So yeah, that's a surprising thing to discover to me as well. But I'm happy that I'm helping people, and like people feel that what I share is uh, worth their time, I guess.
Well, it very much is. I've seen a lot of people, attribute, success or jobs or even inspiration to you. So, I mean, that's fantastic. But so, for those of you who can't see Dorota, who are just listening to this, behind her and what she's kind of known for is simultaneously being the woman in red and Wonder Woman. So, in kind of the same vein as your inspiration to people, how did both of those things come to be your alias?
Oh yeah, actually, just wanted to say that if you want, then you can take like a print screen of my background and like use it for that podcast as well, if you want, as a picture, or like
Sure.
as an example to what you just mentioned, so people would understand. But they could also come to my podcast. That's my background for the podcast as well. It's on Twitch. But to answer your question, like with the Wonder Woman, uh, it started when I was like still in the Netherlands, and I was not in a good place because I was in a like a yeah, not a great relationship, and I didn't believe that I could escape that situation. Like I don't know how to explain it in a better way. So I felt a bit trapped in my life then, but and also I got just sick, right? So and then like around that time, there was the first movie with Wonder Woman in the cinemas, and uh, it was the first superhero that was like a had a female representation, and like whole movie was about her. So hmm, I felt like this is like pretty cool, and made me feel, oh, this is happening. Like no, like she's so cool, and I want to be like her. And I don't know, I felt like really close to that character for some reason. And so I was like a big fan of Wonder Woman and like that movie to like start this story. And then I got sick. I got a job in cybersecurity, and like apparently on like I don't know, on the internet, on uh, LinkedIn, people are saying that this is like a very difficult thing to do. You know, like to enter cybersecurity, to get a job, to get like the foot in the door. But for me, it was actually not that difficult. It was like maybe third job interview that I had then, and they already like saw something some potential in me, and they offered me a position. And then to like follow that story, so everyone understands what like was the thought process there. I got told that I am healthy, and so that was like a huge thing. So maybe so people would understand more what was happening there. I was diagnosed with cancer, so to hear that I'm healthy was a big deal.
I'm sure that
Yeah,
was a
and
very big
okay,
deal.
yeah, super big deal. So then I started thinking, okay, so uh, I love Wonder Woman. So and then I got the job in cyber, and people tell me that this is like an impossible task, super difficult. And then I got healthy. Shit, I am Wonder Woman.
Wow, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that it was kind of like I thought, okay, I feel that this is like who I am, like maybe inside.
Hmm.
And Uh, I'm a bit emotional right now because that's a big deal to talk about. But I felt like I was this super shy person that I didn't believe in myself. And and uh, and suddenly I discovered, okay, I'm actually strong and I can achieve anything.
Well, you certainly proved that. I mean, you jumped out of airplanes for pizza, you got healthy, you moved back home, you started a podcast, you got into the industry you thought you couldn't do. Now you're working for your dream company doing exactly what you want, so you definitely proved your point.
Yeah, thank you for like that intermission. So yeah, I had to gather myself a bit there. So I, although I was like that very shy, I didn't believe in myself. You can see like in high school, I was kind of like the gray mouse of the class, you know. But I actually knew about myself that I'm a strong person, that I have like this mental strength about me, and even when I got diagnosed with what I was like going through the battle. Uh, I like my mindset like kind of surprised me because I used to be super negative person. I used to think like, oh, I'm like this bad things happening to me, you know. Oh, that would never work. So I used to think like that. But when I got diagnosed, the thing, first thing that went through my mind was actually it's like my hashtag right now. So I will not give up here, and I'm going to go get through this. And so I thought, okay, it's not the end of the world, although it's super scary, but I will get through this, and now I will fight. And uh, in the year, or like however long it takes, I will be I will be healthy, and I will be good. And so I did that. So I was like, as I mentioned before, I'm goal oriented. So I really looked at that situation as this is like a quest in a way. So I had to get healthy, so I had to go to that doctor's how to say that, doctor's appointment, and then to that treatment, and then I was just like taking one day at a time and not thinking about like, I don't know, this is crushing me, because this is like super scary as well. Like even if I was going to like the doctor's appointments, everyone, like literally everyone, like waiting there was like, I could say they were like devastated. They were like so sad and like scared, and like they had support of their family that was probably helpful. I had pretty much no one, but to me it was like something that I discovered about myself, because every time that I went there, I went there with a big smile, and I was like optimistic, and I knew that this is not the end. And also like my the doctor that was like had like the most appointments with me, my surgeon, told me, okay, you're my favorite patient, you know, Dorota, and you're always smiling, and I like talking to you, because I do believe that for doctors, there's also like a very difficult, they have to, people are like maybe crying, they have like emotional reaction. And I was also like having like good responses to what he was saying. Like, okay, like he said, okay, you will have like a surgery and this and this and this, and say, okay, I'm happy to have this surgery. And they say, okay, so your date will be 22nd of December. I say, okay, that's the best gift for Christmas ever. So kind of like to paint the picture, like what I was kind of like becoming, what kind of a person I'm becoming, like discovering something about myself, like actually being super pessimistic and like thinking, okay, I will surely die here. So this is not the way to go. You should have like a positive mindset. You should have like a growth mindset, and yeah, that's I think that's the way to live your life. And how the Wonder Woman became to be is like, Yeah, I just found my strength in like all the adversity I was going through, and that was potentially the worst like year like or two. It was also during COVID, so imagine the fear and the stress of like being already like my immune system was like super weak, and like going outside and like going to the hospital, and like maybe I will not make it to the the other like bus stop or whatever. So uh yeah, that's how the Wonder Woman came to be. And also I decided to, okay, that's who I feel I am, so maybe I should just create a picture. So I purchased I don't know, like a cheap costume, uh took a selfie and thought, okay, okay, I feel like this is super uncomfortable to me, but like everyone on LinkedIn looks the same, so I just want to like look different and like show them, okay, I'm not, I don't want to blend in the background anymore. I was told I have to like through all my life, but I don't want to. Mm. And that's how the Wonder Woman started on LinkedIn. I didn't really call myself Wonder Woman. It was just like the picture, but people started like respond positively to that, and like the people I was like the things that I was sharing on LinkedIn, like my learning journey, like my baby steps. Like I came pretty much from not knowing anything to like a specialist in the field. So that's what I was like. The whole message is like I'm showing my journey because I came from nothing, and it's absolutely possible to anyone to start. Just need to decide that you want to start, take the first step, and like do whatever uh, step you want to do in like a direction you feel like it's right for you. But like just follow the things that you feel like make you like fall in love with your own life. And like because what I like actually had an impact on me, watched like a interview with people on the deathbed, like in like with terminal illness or something like that, and they asked the people like, what would you like advice be like? What do you regret in life, or like, so that interview like rocked my world because I don't want to regret anything.
Well, it certainly seems like you're living your life to where you won't regret anything. You're tackling every problem that you want to tackle. You're taking everything on, whatever problems you have, whatever difficulties you have, whatever challenges, you're facing them head on. I mean, sometimes for pizza, sometimes for, just because, but you definitely seem to be taking on every scary thing in your life and overcoming it. So I think that the Wonder Woman persona is very fitting for you.
Yeah, that's I do believe that too. So like people started calling me Wonder Woman of Cyber, even like with what I was sharing on LinkedIn. And why to actually answer your question, why the woman in red is because I feel like maybe I felt like maybe I'm stealing the image of Wonder Woman. She's like a superhero, and I don't want to pretend. And although it was like a like impersonation of me for a while, and but I don't want to steal anyone else's image. And I'm not actually Diana, so I'm Dorota. But what I was trying to build woman in red is like my imagination of who I am. So actually it was inspired me like what of the things you said on your course, that the woman in red was the someone that was like the diversion that made you flip the uh, what made you jump the turnstile and like go on with your engagement. But also I remember the woman in red and like what Morpheus said, like don't look at the woman in red. So it kinds of what also like women like maybe in on a larger scale or on cyber that people don't really think that we are a threat. But for me, I look at this and I I think okay, good. Then let's see, Because then in the next scene, the Neo looks back, and actually the woman is the agent Smith. So by like thinking, okay, she's not a threat. She's, I don't know, like by ignoring women in the public space, we actually, like, people give them big power, that they can be actually the threat, and they can be very successful in physical engagements in social engineering, because you don't think that the woman is calling, she's obviously in distress, maybe like a child is like crying in the background somewhere. So you don't feel that she's a threat, she's like there to get your credentials or something. So you want to help her, and like you feel like, yeah, you feel empathetic. But so I'm trying to see that this is like actually our strength, and like I'm trying to paint a picture that I'm into red teaming, I'm into physical engagements. I have knowledge, I have skills, and although I don't really look much, I look pretty like maybe shy, maybe trustworthy, maybe innocent. In, I don't know. Someone even told me that I'm super pure, whatever that means. But that's like actually the thing, that my exterior looks a certain way, but my interior, I'm super intelligent, and I have skills, and I have knowledge. So I could be the woman in red, like in the Matrix. I could be the Agent Smith, actually. And you think like, okay, don't look at her, she's not a threat. So that's like I'm trying to rebrand, and that's like the picture I'm trying to paint now.
Well, I think it's a very fitting painting. I think it's a very fitting persona. I mean, you do have a lot of skills. You have come a long way, and you can definitely be a threat. I mean, if you can social engineer your way into a facility or break your way in or do any, I mean, yes, you absolutely can simultaneously be that innocent woman in red, but then also probably the biggest threat to the company.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so as well. And also, if you like look at the people that are invisible in the companies, like you never look at the cleaning stuff, for example. But actually, someone could I don't know, have that as a pretext.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's like, so people that you don't think that there are a threat, then actually you might be absolutely surprised. So yeah.
No, that's a very very good point. And for anybody listening to this who works in a major company or any company, really, ask yourself the question of can your employees name three of the cleaning staff, and can the cleaning staff name all the employees? And the answer is almost always no. You don't know who they
Yeah.
are. They don't know who you are, and that they have the keys to the kingdom. They can come anytime they want. They can do anything they want. They can go anywhere they want. So you're right. It's a huge threat, and people are woefully ignorant of who poses a big threat to your company.
Yeah, so you like I wanted to get back to like, because I was a bit emotional during the what I was saying like about my life. So to answer again your question, I don't think I'm stoic yet, but I really want to like learn how to like maybe manage my emotions more, and yeah. So I don't think it's like something that is in the way of my I don't know, growth professionally, because if I want to, then maybe I can cry on like just like that on an engagement, and like that would maybe. I just noticed that men don't really do well when someone is crying, and like has like very intense emotional response, to just want to go away and like give you everything, and just I don't know. So that could be also like something that I can use, and that I'm trying to be like sneaky about it, and like using in my private life. But yeah, if I can be super emotional and like think about something that hurt me in my life, and then cry like on demand, then actually that could be something that I can use on engagement.
Well, you're definitely not wrong. Men tend to bend pretty quickly when they see a crying woman. So we tend to do things we probably shouldn't, give access or whatever else when we see a crying woman. So yeah, you're not wrong about that.
Yeah. So yeah, so yeah, that's
So that actually gets me into a question that I'm was curious to ask you. But before I do, thank you very much for sharing your story. It's a very impactful, story. It's a very, deep journey that you've been on. But from my perspective, and I'm sure a lot of people listening to this will agree, I think that you are very deserving of either the Wonder Woman or the Woman in Red persona, whichever you choose to take. I think that you're very deserving of both. I think that you have more
Thank
than
you.
earned. You're very welcome, but I think that most people would agree that you've very much earned those personas. So whoever you decide to be, I think that you are, of course, worthy of being that person.
Yeah, I'm still like uh, I don't always know how to behave when someone's saying things like that. So I'm always like grateful, and sometimes it comes as a surprise because the imposter syndrome is still kicking my butt a bit. But I just do know that I how much effort I put into building all of it, and I even started. It was like maybe a few years, like building my LinkedIn like persona and my presence, and I'm always almost at 50,000 people that are following me, and that's wild. Like, and I just build it with like I'm trying to build content that has quality. I'm not. I know that I could easily go to like thousands, like I don't know, 1 million followers, with just using like cheap tactics and clickbait and like I don't know, using the agree posts or like I even saw like people posting like pictures with next to their dead parent and like writing like a post, like a story, and having like thousands of likes there or like emotions. But I don't really want to use cheap tactics. I'm trying to say Dorota equals quality, uh, knowledge, I don't know, education, encouragement, things like that. I don't know, maybe public speaking or like conference presence, something like offensive, I don't know, quality, and not like cheap tactics, cheap tricks. So that's another layer that makes me maybe proud of the how many people is like following me on LinkedIn, because knowing I could like what path I could take, I see the patterns. I know how to maybe rig the system a bit, but I'm not doing that. So that makes me even more proud that being like I don't know, like a good person, like having there's like the word in English for that I don't remember right now.
It sounds like you're describing somebody who's noble.
Or integrity, or maybe that's the
Hmm,
word. Yeah, so like trying to build that, I have a huge following, so that's a big deal to me. And even if there will be like I don't know 50 people following me, that's already a lot of people. If you put them in one room, that's a crowd, you know. So
sure.
that's yeah, it still a bit blows my mind how many people wants to read my post, and I don't know. They feel happy then when they like see my face or like I post a picture or something, and they are happy when I succeed in something. So that's like a really like a community what is about. So I'm also happy when other people succeed, and I feel super happy when they have a new job or they have a new certification or they I know that they were like struggling to get OECP and then they get
Hmm.
OECP. So yeah, that's like the person I am. So maybe that's what is the people that resonate with what I'm sharing and like what the people around me all like gathering. So if that is the case, then I'm super happy because that's what I decided to do. That I really wanted to have like a friends around me that are supportive and they will not pull me down. They will not say, "Oh, don't go after it. Are you stupid?" Or like they will not say any of those things, but they say, "Okay, you're great, Dorota. Oh, good job. Oh, you did great." And oh, I could maybe vent to them if I have like a bad day, and they will support me. So if I'm gathering people like that around me, that only makes me happy because that's 50,000 of good people. I say so. That's like if we have like a lot of good people around us, then maybe we can change the world and like make it a better place. or so leave it better than when we came to this world, so
Right.
that would be great.
Yeah, I mean the Boy Scout motto, right? Always leave the place better than you found it. But yeah, I mean you've mentioned several times over during this chat that you have imposter syndrome or you've had imposter syndrome, but you've also said that you've you know impressively come and accomplished all the things that you wanted to do. You went through and took on all the most difficult things, that whatever was scared you, whatever terrified you, that was specifically what you went to go do. And whenever you think, my recommendation would be that whenever you think about, well, maybe I'm not who I think I am, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am, but what you just said kind of disproves that, in the sense of you have 50,000 people who believe in you. You have 50, like, and you said, like, okay, so now you said try to get 50 people in a room. Now try to get 50,000 people in a room. Think about how many people that would be if you were standing, on a podium with 50,000 people around you. That's a football stadium.
Yeah, that's
That's
what I thought. That's a stadium. That's wild.
So I think that a lot of people believe in you, and I think that a lot of people not only want to see you succeed, but they want to emulate you. You're an inspiration. So the next time that you ever have that imposter syndrome creep up on you, just realize that if you gathered all of your followers into one place, you'd basically be in the center of a football stadium, surrounded with full stadium packed full of people who all want to hear you and want to see you.
And when you said that, I have to drink some water. But I just imagined Freddie Mercury in front of the stadium, and I have to do this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, hey. So that's what I would do if I had 50,000 people in front of me, probably.
All right, so you heard that here first. If you all gather in one place, that's what she'll do for you.
Yeah, let's do Freddie Mercury again.
Mm,
But about the imposter syndrome, I wanted to get back to that topic a bit.
sure.
Uh, yeah, my brain is a bit scattered, so I sometimes forget what I was about to say. That's super weird. But imposter syndrome is like, I know. I had like many conversations with people that have that too, and what like some of the people told me about it is, so that you are an intelligent person and you're like but you have high emotional intelligence, and so you know about yourself what you don't know, so that's why you have imposter syndrome. So imagine if you would not know, like you wouldn't be super intelligent, then you would feel cocky and you will feel, okay, I know everything, I'm like the smartest person in the room. And I do believe that if you feel that way, that you should change the room, because then you have no growth anymore. So I wouldn't, I don't think I would like to be the smartest person in the room. I just always wanted to learn more and more and more. That's like that's like a reason for being alive, I guess. That's my drive. But yeah, so imposter syndrome is a tough thing, because you sometimes feel that you suck, but actually it's the opposite is the case. Like what I wanted to say actually is like I explained those things to myself in that way. So maybe that will help other people as well. So if you think like have a bad day and your imposter syndrome is kicking your butt there and is saying, "Oh, you're not good at it. Everyone will find out." And then you have like a group of friends that really believe in you, and they say, "Oh, oh shit, Dorota, you're like sorry, I swear a lot."
That's okay.
And they say, "Oh, Dorota, you're great. You nailed it, and you did absolutely amazing on that presentation, or whatever that is." So maybe okay. And then you look at the situation. You think about yourself this, and then the people think like you think about yourself, I don't know, around 0%, and they think 100%. So maybe the truth is somewhere in between. So maybe I'm not saying that it is, but sometimes maybe the price, like the truth is 50%, or maybe it's 80%, or maybe it's 95%. I'm not saying that you should go on with your life through your life with the nose in the clouds, like, oh, I'm the smartest person alive. But have some humility in your life, but also like believe in yourself and okay, I'm pretty intelligent. I can do it. Don't like try to, I don't know, self-doubt yourself too much, because then you will not go after the things that you are supposed to do, and maybe you are put on this earth to achieve things and inspire other people. And also, what I read as like a very smart sentence, that your success story could be someone else's survival guide. So I also believe in something like that, that we should find the like the truth and like the power in ourselves, the strength, and just go into our lives trying to achieve the best versions of ourselves, the best like outcome. And yeah, that's I was trying to say that, actually, to believe in ourselves more and not to think super negatively about ourselves all the time. But yeah, like maybe like somewhere in the middle is more healthy, like find the balance to the situation.
Sure. I think that's wonderful advice to, not burn yourself out, but you need to push yourself. Your story is one from somebody who knew nothing and had no skills into a field to now, like you said, now you're working for one of the biggest companies in the world doing a very niche thing, with a lot of skills, a lot of certifications, a lot of skills. You have a huge network. You've got 50,000 people who believe in you and want to hear what you have to say. So, I mean, it's very, very impressive. Um, Now, all of that said, I wanted to ask you one silly question, from the beginning, because
Let's go.
I wanted to see what your take would be on this. If you could run any type of penetration test or social engineering engagement on any organization or company anywhere in the world with no consequences, what organization would you pick?
Wow, that's a question. With no consequences. I don't know if that's like allowed in the question. My first thing was I would go out Pentagon.
The Pentagon,
So,
sure.
yeah, uh, that's but or like some of their apps. That would be like maybe a dream to physically uh pentest Pentagon. But that's that I don't think that's going to happen. But that would be like really cool.
Yeah, I
With no
no,
consequence, no, because you said no consequences. Because like going there would be like pretty scary to me. Like with
well,
consequences, I think.
no, no, no. When I said no consequences, I mean like nothing's going to come back to bite you. So like if you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's all perfectly authorized. You got a engagement letter and all that. Um, but yeah, so the Pentagon would definitely be a choice target for anybody to go into, see the archives, see what kind of silly
Yeah, yeah,
stuff
yeah.
they're into.
Yeah, what I discovered that about. I have to drink water, I think. That I think I'm a bit. I wouldn't say cocky, but maybe a bit insane. I don't know. But I started to believe that I can do really big things. So because I didn't believe in myself, and then I started doing things, and I'm successful in the things that I like try myself at. So so maybe what I believed, like the raise the bar. So maybe the bar is not like very low for me. Maybe the bar is like actually higher than I thought. So uh, what like maybe advice to myself as well is to maybe think a bit higher, even if you're negotiating your future salary. Maybe think a bit higher than you think you will get. So so yeah, that's like an interesting question you asked me, and also like I'm a bit surprised with my answer there, but it's like I'm discovering something about myself here. So yeah, thank you about that too.
No, thank you for the answer. I mean, I think we all have we all have questions of like what's in the Pentagon, what's in Area 51, what's in all of these
Yeah,
crazy
yeah, yeah.
places, right? But yeah, so that was good though. Um, Dorota, one last question that I wanted to ask you before, but first, thank you for coming on. I've really enjoyed chatting with you. But what's one thing that you think that we as an industry should be talking about more or should be doing more?
Mm, I think we should be. I don't want this to come off wrong, so trying to word it correctly. But we should be hiring more women because we have like skills that maybe men don't have, so we can work as a team. So I do believe that we need more women in the industry, but also what we should be doing is like maybe talk more about physical security as well and like the threats of social engineering, because the ransomware, like the cyber security, like threats from like the computer side, like from the technical side, are like very well covered in the news and like in the like people know about that, like even like probably my mother knows some things that could happen, but like I even like discovered that I started talking about social engineering to like a friend of mine that is like in totally different industry, and she didn't know what I was talking about. Like not she knew some things, but like it was super interesting to learn. But and she didn't like understood everything. So she said, "Okay, I'm a noob. Maybe like use like explain it to me as I'm like a 3-year-old." So maybe we should talk about that more, because people are like it's really like people are like the weakest link. We are emotional beings, and that's like a very a good like path to exploit us in a way, like make us say things that we didn't want us to, maybe made us act in a way that we didn't want it to. But there are like some ways or like triggers that the the social engineer might know about or like find out during the conversation, and they will push the button, and then we might break. So even like if you listen to that conversation, I was emotional during that conversation a few times, because I had some things that maybe I'm still processing. So I think every person has something that are still processing. They're still dealing with some things that like some demons or hard situations in their life. So I think social engineering, like the threats of a life that maybe going on a dating app could end up in like a very bad way for like a person. Maybe that should be like mentioned more, because we go into the world with like a trusting heart, and we think of other people that from our own perspectives, that we think, okay, the other person is just like me, so I can trust that person. But that's not always the case. So yeah, like make people aware of the threats out there and what could happen to them, and how they could be scammed, or like like they could be like even it's super scary that someone's identity could be stolen, and there's like really easy to do, and people don't realize how what they're like leaving the crumbs behind, like maybe they take selfies with like the screen of their laptop at work, or like they share their badges from the new job, and that could be really easy to steal from them, and then yeah, that they could be in that deep trouble. So yeah, to make people aware, and like maybe more women in the industry as well. So those two things.
I think that that's a perfect answer. Thank you very much for coming on here. I've really appreciated chatting with you. By the way, um,
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. It's like a big deal to me. You were like when I discovered physical pen testing, you were like a
mm,
personal hero of mine when I was like still no one. And so you inspired me to go after the things and like learn, and also doing your courses will help me cover access team courses. So yeah, thank you actually for putting that like out there, and like allowing other people to follow that path, and like maybe being more knowledgeable about those things. Even like I talked with Casio yesterday, that is a founder of Besides Krakow, and like going to
mm.
Besides Krakow was like one of the things that like helped me to get where I am today. So what I'm trying to say here, like thank you as well, but also like I'm trying to encourage other people to go after the things that they love and they feel that they can succeed at, that just something that sparks their joy, because you never know what kind of an impact you might have on other people. And if Brian never opened his company and Casio never started besides Krakow, maybe I would be in a totally different place. So you never know what kind of an impact you have on other people. So just like do your like job why you were put on this world, and like follow your destiny, and like yeah, do your thing.
Well, that's fantastic advice. And just in case anybody doesn't know, Dorota not only can do cyber pen testing, she can do social engineering, but she can also do covert entry. So she's kind of a very well-rounded offensive security person.
Yeah, thank you.
And where can people find you, Dorota? When they if they want to find you, how where do they go?
Oh, that's a good question. Like that's maybe like a weird thing to like a hacker themed person, but I live on LinkedIn pretty much. So you just type Dorota Kozlowska in the search bar, and I'm the person with pink glasses there. So that's me. But also you can try googling "woman in red," and you will find my YouTube channel that way. And you will probably find my Twitch channel as well, because it's called Women in Red Presents. So you can type that as well in the search bar. And yeah, that's where I'm in. So you can watch my streams. I don't really take any money. So if you can want to subscribe, then you are welcome to. But you can watch my video on demand for free. And then also on YouTube, my the videos go on YouTube after the edits, so you can also watch them for free. I believe that knowledge should be free, so that's why what I'm doing, I'm not really earning any money from my uh, after work activities. I'm starting to think maybe I should like slowly, because yeah, I want to buy a house, or like uh, like have things that people my age have. But I'm not after money. I'm after like sharing knowledge and growing, and yeah, making helping other people. So yeah, I feel happy about my path and what I'm doing here. So yeah, you can find me there, and I hope you will connect with me. And yeah, I want to be like I I don't want to sound it like a bit creepy there, but I want to be your friend. but yeah, that's what I'm about.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you again, Dorota, and I hope everybody reaches out and connects with you on LinkedIn and follows your Twitch stream and YouTube. All right,
Yeah,
everybody.
thank you. Bye.
All right, thanks. Bye bye, everybody.